We're talking living green this morning. One way to go green is to keep the car in the garage. Joe Krause joins us now this morning on our Living Green segment to explain some benefits of using Lafayette Amtrack. Joe, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Great first name. We're in good company here.
Yeah. The Amtrak station, we have a train that goes mornings 8:02 in the morning, and we have recently two new features down there at that station. Since April, we've had a ticket machine, so somebody can go online, get their a ticket, print out, bring it down there, scan it, and then they'll get their tickets. Or they can get their reservation number online and get their ticket that way. So the ticket machine has helped a lot. A lot of Purdue students use the train, particularly, for example, on Purdue weekend. It's 100 on a Saturday of the spring break, of the fall break. 125 people went on the train. Typically 30 to 40. That's one thing, is the ticket machine. The second is the handicap wheelchair lift, and we've gotten that now for about a month. And so for anybody who was severely handicapped, before this they had to go all the way down to Indianapolis or to Chicago to get on the train. Now there's supposed to be a wheelchair lift at Rensselaer, but I haven't seen it. But the wheelchair lift at Lafayette works. It's used by authorized personnel. It's also secured with a lock, so nobody can mess around with it otherwise. But there's a severely handicapped young man from Lafayette who needs to go every 2 weeks up to Chicago, and it's possible for us now, for the authorized personnel, to lift that young man and get him on the train.
Now you have the automated tickets, which helps out. You have how easy is it, and how many routes do you have on a daily basis to get where you're going, whether it be to work or possibly a trip to Indy or Chicago?
From here you can go 3 days a week. You can go all the way from Lafayette, Indiana to New York City to any kind of connections, Washington, D.C. That 3 days a week is a train called the Cardinal. That comes through Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and then it returns Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays from Chicago. Once you get up to Chicago, you get into the entire Amtrak network, and you can go all over the country. My wife and I have traveled from Lafayette, Indiana to all 4 parts of the United States, including to Prince Rupert, Canada. You can see that. It gets us very close to Alaska. It's possible to go to Alaska practically by rail and boat. You don't have to drive. You don't have to fly. You can get there.
So you're saving on your own time, because you don't have to worry about driving your car, snack stops, and filling up with gas in your car.
That's correct.
Are you finding more people are riding the rails now because it's so much more cheaper?
It is relatively inexpensive if you're just going to sit up and coach. If you want a private car, rather a private compartment for the long distance trains, then it'll cost you more, which is fair. But ordinarily, I think one-way fare to Chicago is a little over $20, but for senior citizens, it's less.
So the ticket machine, you guys have a lot of departure times, so you can, if you don't need to leave at 8:02, if you'd rather have it maybe closer to 10 o'clock?
Unfortunately, we only have one train each way each day, and by being I'm an advocate through both the Indiana High-Speed Rail and the organization used to call Indiana Association of Railway Passengers. We want to see frequency. We want first of all, safety, frequency, convenience, reliability is what we want. But we only have one train each way each day, and we have been working. A number of people in the community have been working to try to improve the Amtrak service between here and Chicago, and between here and New York City and Kentucky, whatever else.
Safe to say, though, if more people do ride the rails, those hours could be expanding a little bit, maybe more than just one train both ways each day.
Yes, if we could get, we would like to see even more people use the train. Although the idea is catching on for sure. I'm with City Bus, and the ridership all over the country in transit and in rail is going up. Even slowed down slightly now because of the recession, but generally people beginning to realize, just like in Europe and China and Brazil, elsewhere in Mexico, people are beginning to realize this is really a safe way, convenient way to get someplace. We're not necessarily talking about super high speed. We're talking about reliability.
Well, safe and also a little easier on the wallet as well.
Yeah, and it's also on the environment. Right? You don't use as much fuel.
That's right. The exhaust as well.
Yeah.
Joe, thank you so much for being here. Joe Krause, appreciate it. Coming up at 6.